Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Deez. This is my workshop. Today I just wanted to start an intro to another Messin' in the Shop episode. I'll put a few different clips as usual in this episode. Just kind of breaks up kind of the content that I work on. I like to do these short little videos versus just putting, instead of putting 5-minute clip videos out there, I kind of put them in to make a 20-30 minute video with all of those. To be honest, if you don't mind, put some feedback down in the comments. Let me know, would you rather see some 5-minute individual video clips of me working in the shop, working on just really small projects? Or do you like the format where I make a video that's 15, 20, 30 minutes long and put a lot of those little small projects together into a Messin' in the Shop episode? If you don't mind, put it down in the comments. I'll read your feedback and take that into consideration for future videos. But for today, this will be my standard Messin' in the Shop format. It'll be, I think, episode 10. So this will be the 10th episode. I think people are liking them, but again, feedback will be great. Today, I'm going to do an intro, a bit of a channel update, and overall where I'm at and where I'm going with the channel and what I'm going to do with the future content. Right now, I think I've completed my initial learning and familiarization with the lathe. I've moved on to someone who actually understands the equipment, knows how to run it and operate it efficiently. If you've watched the videos from the beginning and up until now, you should see that I have progressed along pretty well. I'm pretty happy with my progress. A lot of it's in part to you guys out there watching, providing your feedback, your helpful hints. Some of you sent some work pieces or tooling. All of it's been greatly appreciated. It has really helped me get to where I'm at today. The biggest piece I'm proud of was making this oil pot, the no-spill oil pot. As you can see, it's still here. It's still working and it's not spilling. So very happy with that. That one was with the lathe and all the skills that I worked up to, learning how to turn, chuck up my pieces. I finally got some inside boring and threading skills in, and I was able to make that part. That was one thing that I just wanted to work towards making. So I'm very happy with that. So I'm going to move on to intermediate types of projects. And one thing that I need to do, and I've been wanting to do, I've mentioned it on several videos, is get a mill. I'm going to obtain a milling machine very soon. I'm narrowing it down to a few different brands. I just need to pick the exact model that I want and the brand that I want. Get it ordered. I'd like to get it ordered here soon before winter sets in. It's almost fall of 2023. So I want to get that thing ordered, get it in, and then I'm going to start another series of videos learning that machine. I'll be able to take what I've learned with this skills and this machine and apply it towards that mill. So that will be hopefully coming in the next coming months or so. As far as channel video releases, I try to keep videos. My life's busy, right? With, we've got kids and children and life and things going on, and I have a full-time job. This is just a hobby of mine. I have to balance with the content that I create with real life. And the only way that I can consistently release videos is to create them ahead of time and schedule them for release. Over the past year and a half, I have released 2 videos per week, or I tried to, every Wednesday and Saturday. This last month, number one, it's been incredibly hot out here. It is beautiful today, by the way. Finally back out in the shop. But it has been nearly a month since I've really gotten to come out here and create some content for y'all. It's been brutal. You come out here and you just drenched in sweat. I don't have AC in this little workshop, and it's so uncomfortable. You can't really think about what you're doing. You're just sweating. So I just haven't been out here. So I just completed a project video. You'll see that probably before this video releases. It's just a silly punch. It's big, it's oversized, it's not going to be useful. I couldn't harden it. I don't think it's the right kind of steel, or I didn't get it up to the right temp. But regardless, just kind of experimenting with different designs. If I wanted to make a functional punch, you know, get the right materials, and I wanted to hot glue something, just stuff like that. So I got back out here, experimenting with turning, just refamiliarizing myself with the lathe, keeping my skills sharp, and I created that. So you'll see a video on that, probably before this one. Something else I wanted to update you on was the T9, the first T9 test that I did. I turned this down, it was clean. I sprayed that T9 on here, and then this part I did not treat. You can see this part is getting some surface rust, very, very minor. This part over here, it's a gummy material, but it is not rusting. So this was over a month, probably 2 months ago that I treated that. It's holding up. It's not rusting. The side that's untreated is. And I told you in a previous video that we would come back and visit this, so I thought this would be a good time to do that. Yeah, we'll hang it back up here when we're done, and we'll just keep letting it sit and see how long it goes. But overall, that T9 stuff works pretty good. If you're looking to make a steel part that is prone to rusting, you might give that stuff a shot. Spray it on there. That's not sponsored. It's just I bought some on, I saw Blondie use it, and I thought, you know, I'm going to get some of that because I do have a humid climate here and it might help me out. That's the only reason I have it. I just thought I'd share my experience with it, as if any of you are curious. As far as, let me go back to the video releases. As far as video releases, I'd like to still put out 2 a week. I'd also like your feedback on that. If you don't mind, put down a comment on that. Do you like the 2 a week format? Is it too much? I want to release quality content, not just lots of content. There's a difference. I think most of my content is watchable. I watch all of it. I'm trying to improve on the wordiness, and just every video I hope to improve a little bit. But do you like 2 a week? Or is 1 a week enough? Because it's kind of a grind to put out 2 a week. That's 104 videos a year. But I also want to give you validity for subscribing. If you're subscribing to a channel, at least when I subscribe to channels, I want to see somebody putting out a video a week. Sometimes life happens and you don't get one out for a couple weeks or once a month. I'm okay with that too. I'll stay subscribed. But when people don't put out content for more than a month, I usually just clean out my subscription list and I get rid of them. I don't want a video every 2-3 months. If I'm going to subscribe and it's in my list, I want to see regular content. So I intend on putting out a video every week. But what I'm curious about your input is, do you like 2 a week, or is 1 a week okay? Because 1 a week would pull some of the stress off of me. I still might do 2 a week, but right now I'm kind of focused on getting a mill and that sort of research. There's no content to put out with that type of research. In the meantime, I still have projects that I want to do, and I'm still working with the lathe. I'm going to record that stuff and put it out. But really, I'm just curious, what do you like? Do you like 2 a week, or is that just too much and you get tired of seeing them pop up? Let me know. Other than that, just working in the shop, getting back out here. I'm glad it's cooling down, and I'm just glad to be back out in the shop. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoy this video. Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Deez. This is my workshop. Right now we're going to add a little clip here. I wanted to share this with you. This was a viewer gift. Thank you. You know who you are. They reached out to me, asked if I would like some hickory handle blanks for making handle file for my files or other various things that I make. And I said, yeah, if you want to send them my way, go ahead. That would be a nice contribution. I'll find a project somewhere along the line to make these, use these and make something with. At any rate, they arrived. I wasn't sure what this was, so I opened it ahead of time, and otherwise I would have done an unpackaging live. But regardless, let's take out what we got here and see what we got. There we go. So they're hickory blanks, square stock. Pretty nice looking material. And I know I'll come up with a project for that, whether I turn these individually into something or I make handles out of them. It's a pretty decent sized material. Looks to be 2 by 2, I'm guessing. Yeah, 2 by 2 hickory blanks. Anyway, nice wood stock. I'm gonna put this to use in a future project. I just wanted to share. Thank you again. You know who you are. I appreciate anybody that wants to contribute to the channel. You know, I'm trying to make friends out there. I'm meeting a lot of great people, and some people just want to share and be part of the community. You know, go ahead. Anyway, thank you. I appreciate it, and hope to see you on the next one. Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Deez and this is my workshop. Just wanted to give an update today. Something that we've been working on. I did get replacement gear. So although I did get a replacement gear for the lathe, one of the things that I've been working with and collaborating with Dave on is he was interested in making me a replacement gear. He's got the setup and the equipment to do it. So we've been kind of going back and forth and sharing measurements. And we thought that would be kind of a good collaboration. He's going to put a video out on that. I wanted to share my side of it. You know, I've been providing him with measurements. That's what this mess is about. Just kind of cleaning up. But just want to give you a quick update, a preview that's coming up. It'll be kind of interesting to see, you know, how that works, how my measurement skills are with how he's able to interpret that and then produce a gear that provides a functional replacement for the one I didn't get originally. And we're just going to kind of go with it. You know, even though I did get a replacement, it's really kind of a cool idea and project to see if we can do that. Certainly that's what you do, right? You can make these machines, these gears and things like that if you have the proper equipment. I don't yet. When I get a milling machine, you know, hope to get to that level at some point. But for now, I can't make any gears. I could certainly buy some. You know, I bought a gear, but you can buy them at different places online. But this will be a pretty cool collaboration. Still haven't got a mini mill yet, but I'm researching it, kind of narrowing down the manufacturers that I want. It still would be great to partner with one of the, you know, like a Precision Matthews or a Grizzly or somebody who wants me to feature another year-long series with their mill, from never using one to learning how to use one and finally making some pretty cool projects with it. So I'm going to reach out to some of them and see if they're interested in it. If not, I'm going to buy my own. And you know, I'm still kind of toying. I like the idea of just buying my own. That way I can say it's completely unbiased because I bought my own. But when somebody provides you with something for free, there's always that little bias because it was given to you. But as you've seen just recently, I was given a borescope. That was a completely unbiased, you know, you might think it was biased, but there was no bias whatsoever on that. It was just given to me. There's no strings attached type of thing. So I provided a review. Hopefully you all enjoyed that. That's kind of a side of YouTube that I wanted to open the door to, you know, get some products to be able to review. So hopefully I get some more of that. But just wanted to provide a shop update. I'm still working on getting a mill. I'm excited to get one. The projects will expand quite a bit once I get a mill and be able to make, you know, projects using the lathe and the mill together to make more complex tooling or, you know, products to fix other things around the house and machines and whatnot. So really excited about that. Welcome back. This is going to be a clip that'll probably go in a messing in the shop. I'm just messing around. I recently made these magnetic sticks or rods. Here's a steel one and here's the aluminum version. I gave one to Dave. Hopefully you checked out his video where he helped me with the 72 tooth gear, and he mentioned that he got one of these. I gave it to him. Dave helped me out big time. It's awesome. Go check out his channel. But as you can see, we got a magnet on there. I always like to keep up my skills working with the micrometers, testing, reading those things. And I always like to use my dad's trusty old machine tool. What is it? Central Tool Company micrometer that he acquired when he was working in a machine shop, as well as the good old Fowler that I've got. This again, this was also gifted to me. I love that thing. It works great. It's a vernier caliper. You can get very, very precise measurements with it, but we're going to measure these two gauges. One of them is 123 23 thou, and the other is 150. Let's get a bit of a towel here, wipe off some of that oil if I can get it out of there. Yeah, so there we go. This one's 23 thou, and I could show it to you. I don't think that'll ever pick up on there. 23 thou, very thin. And then this one's 150. This is actually a Starrett Weber gauge block, gauge square, and it does measure 150 thou. I don't know if you'll be able to pick that up. I'll show it to you. Anyway, I love these things. I don't have a whole set. I do want to get a gauge block set or gauge pin set someday, just because I like the idea of inspection. Get a granite plate or something. It's part of the hobby. I like doing that stuff. I think that would be a lot of fun. But for tonight, we're just going to measure these things. Let's confirm my dad's micrometer. We'll hold it here, put this guy in, see what we come up with. Pull that out. That's 23 thou. I did bump it. Let's do that again. 23 thou. I'm holding it. This is how I've been taught and learned to hold it. And the heat can actually cause this to move a thou or two. This is precise stuff. You can actually affect it by holding it too long. Regardless, what am I going to do, right? So let's put that in here. That's the thimble, the ratchet. Let's not bump it. And we are at 20. So if you know how to read these, there's the 20. 1, 2, 3 on the money. So hopefully you can see that. 20, 1, 2, 3. I wish this camera would do a little closer up. But that is 23 on the money. Absolutely 20. 1, 2, 3. So this is measuring very well, and I got that cleaned up. If you watch some of my past videos, you can see me cleaning this thing up, and I'm glad that that's working well. Let's test the Fowler. Same thing. We hold it, get this in here, let the ratchet do its thing, pull it out, and we read 20, 1, 2, 3. This reads 20, 23 and maybe 1 thou. So this has a vernier caliper. This one's reading 23 and 1 thou. So I don't know, again, I really need to use the iPhone, but for today, I don't have it with me. 20, 1, 2, 3. And then there's 1 thou you can see on the vernier scale. So let me do that again. 20, 1, 2, 3, and it's actually, yeah, 23 and 1 thou. So this micrometer is reading 1 thou over. Let's go back to this other one just to confirm and see what kind of reading we get. We'll wipe off if there's any dust. So 20. It's 23 thou. Now, let's talk about this. This only measures to the 1 thou. This does not have the vernier scale for the tenths. So if you were able to see it, you could almost see that the line is just a hair. It's not. It's almost perfectly on the zero, but if you had to actually say it's one way or the other, it's a little further over, meaning it very well could be 1/10 over. So regardless, both of these are measuring very well. Let's move on to the 150, just because we got it out. We'll start with a Fowler this time. And that one measures 150 thou on the money. 150 thou on the money. So to do that, the zero is on the line, the straight line, and every one of those increments are 25 thou between the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and we are between. So we have 1, and then we can see the 25, and then the 50 thou is where the barrel is. 150 thou on the money. Let's move to my dad's micrometer. Let's see what that one comes up with. Should be 150 thou as well. And if we're looking at it, we're on the zero, 150 thou. So both of these are reading very well. It's probably hard for you to see in that camera. Let's measure these rods just for the interest of having fun out here. Ooh. All right, enough of that. All right, so the rod size for the aluminum magnetic rod is 300, and so those were 300 thou when I made the video, if you recall, but it's actually a little over. It's 301, almost 302 thou, but if we were to look at the vernier scale, 9/10. So it's actually 309 tenths, almost 302 thou. 301 and 9/10, almost 302. Let's see what the less accurate micrometer shows. My dad's. See if it's close. Yeah. All right, that one's reading 301.2 and 5. I'm going to call it 305, 302 thou and 5/10. So this one's reading over. I did measure it on a different spot. Regardless, these things are very accurate. I wouldn't say this one's precise. There is some discrepancies when I'm tightening it down and all that with that. It's clapped out. It's my dad's. He used it in a machine shop. It's got dirt and grill. It's working pretty well, but if you really need to get down to the 1 thou or 10th, I can't use this. I got to use the Fowler or something more precise. So let's go back to the Fowler. This time we're going to do the steel rod. And that's measuring at 305 50, 65, 6, 7.5. So 367 and 6/10 based off of what that's reading. Again, I doubt you can actually read that, but we'll put it up there. Let's see what we come up with. My dad's Central Tool Company. Should be close. That one is reading 365, 6, 7, 367. So it's really close. I mean, we're 5/10 off, 5/10 maybe between the two. Anyway, they both read very accurate. If you're getting into things that need one thou of precision, you're talking about precision. If you're getting into the tenths, wow, you are really looking at precision stuff. But at any rate, I do like to try to learn this. Eventually I want to start hitting my parts as accurate as I can, and learning this stuff and keeping my skills sharp when I do actually have a project that's that critical. That's going to be important. So at any rate, I'm going to close the video here. We're just messing around. I'm just measuring some things. I'll put this in a mess in the shop. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Hey everybody, welcome back. What I'm doing is kind of evaluating the little fantastic toolbox that comes with one of these cheapo mini lathes. Yeah, you see this picture, whether they're red or yellow tabs. I'm a big fella. This is my hand. This is the size of that toolbox that you get. It ain't big. It's garbage. It's the cheapest plastic on earth. But it's a container that you can put some of your lathe components in. What are you going to do? So what do we have in here? We have, I tried to put everything that came with the lathe or some of the parts that I made for the lathe in this container. This is my lathe container for the parts and everything, that accessories that go on the lathe. Exception is the chucks. They don't fit in this little tiny box. Again, it's little. So when you buy one of these, if you're curious about the size comparison, there you go. It ain't big. That's what you get. But it is a container. I mean, they give you these screwdrivers with it. By the way, that tip, I used it on something, it'll twist and bend. This is not hardened steel at all. It's total garbage. I'm surprised this thing's even up here. I haven't thrown this away yet. The Phillips, it broke. If you watch some of my earlier videos, you'd see one of the videos I broke it. I actually tried to turn it down. This is the trashiest metal on earth. But they send them to you because they say they will. Garbage. So, what are we doing? I'm just going to go through this. I have another container that I think is going to be better for this kind of stuff, and it'll let me house a little bit more of the accessories and components that I have with this lathe, and things that I want to hang on to, but I just don't want out and about. I want to protect them and cover them up. But let's go through this little treasure chest and see what I got. Put this over here. First thing is the spare gear. But at any rate, I've got my extra gears in here. These you have to have if you want to do any threading. You got to have the gears to do that, to change how the machine works. I got a couple more coming back my way, and then I'll have the 72 tooth. But again, this recording is kind of in between videos and stuff. But by the time you see this one, I'll have already had that gear and been testing it and all of that. But regardless, that's where I keep these gears, with this box, and I want them to stay with that kind of accessory. What else do we have in here? Extra handle. Now that handle came from a part that I replaced, which was actually the tool post holder, which I gotta I gotta hand it to, I don't want to hand it to Vevor, honestly. I don't want to hand it to them. They just slap crap together. However, the tool post that they provide with the lathe, honestly, is not bad. The only thing is you have to shim it and you have to center up your cutting pieces. And if all you're going to do is the same operation all the time and you just need to center it up once, put some shims in here, this is great. It's very solid. You can put a couple cutters in there, flip it around, it'll center itself because there's some notches, so it'll line itself up. It's fine. Use it for sure. But the projects that I work on are all over the board. I'm turning this, I'm turning that, I'm trying different cutters. I want to try everything, right? This isn't a production machine shop by any means. But if you do have that, this right here, no reason why this isn't sufficient. It's solid, it's heavy, it's steel, it's not aluminum. I'm dropping parts and pieces out of it. Where was I? So, dropping parts out of it, went and picked that up. Regardless, this thing is solid, it's stout, and it's going to do what you need it to do. Where was I? So, if you remember from some of the earlier videos, I would assume a lot of you haven't seen the early crap. When I first started the channel, it was it wasn't very well produced or anything. I didn't know what I was doing. I just thought, I'm going to unbox this thing, I'm going to do what I'm doing, I'll share it with everybody. Along the way, I've learned to try to make better content for everybody. But regardless, there's some earlier videos showing when I first bought all this and I got I realized how difficult or inconvenient this tool post is going to be to center up all my different cutting tools with the inserts. I've got the brazed carbide, the carbide insights, the high-speed steel. I wanted something more convenient, so I switched to a quick change tool post. The first one I got was piston style. It was made out of aluminum, and it was the cheapest one I could find on Amazon. Don't buy the cheapest crap you can find, I'm telling you, because you're going to buy it again, but for more money. Just wait until you got the money to get the right thing. And if you don't know what the right thing is, post a comment in a video like this and ask. There are people out there that will reply to you. They want to help. So what I did was I purchased a quick change tool post that was aluminum, and here it is. It was piston style. Didn't know what I was doing. Bought this thing thinking, okay, that's gonna be great, it'll be a great start. Oh, came with this thing too. And to be honest, it works. I mean, it's fine for a small lathe. But that little guy, when I first got it, I was like, what? That is so small. This is what was on there to begin with. I did not expect this thing to be so tiny. But I love the quick change aspect of it. And it came with some tool post holders. That's these little guys here. There's one. Here's one. And again, they're really small, but they hold the tooling that I had. And they go on here. And if you got your piston moved out properly, you tighten it down and it locks it in. Again, I got the cool thing is you can quickly adjust the height of all that by moving this brass nut and all that, and that was why I got these things. The problem that I found was, number one, I didn't know what I was doing to mount this thing. There's a boss on my compound. I ended up drilling out the bottom of this so it could go over that boss, as you can see. I got a lot of flack on that. Everybody's like, well, you done screwed up. I kind of did, but for 30 bucks, it didn't matter. Regardless, I was still able to use this thing, and I cut a lot of parts, a lot of metal with it. The problem is, it wasn't right. It wasn't rigid, and this thing would bind and move. This thing would move a little bit when I would kind of take some deeper cuts. So I quickly realized I want something better. This is I believe a 0XA size of a tool, quick change tool post. So if you're looking out there on the internet, you see my hand. Here's the one that came with it. The difference, 0XA size, piston style. See the pistons in there? those push against your quick change tool holders, these guys, and it locks them in place. This is the size of a piston style. It's pretty small. This is the size, even though this isn't quick change, of an AXA. That's what I upgraded to, and that's what you see in most of my videos. Much more substantial, made out of steel. Go with that if you can make it work on your lathe. A lot of mini lathes they really recommend this smaller size, but honestly, for this lathe, this was a better size. So, just to give you a little reference of size. So I got that stuff in here, and again, that's where I keep my little holders. It came with 2 or 3 different holders. I also keep my extra, my outside chucks. So I got my inside and my outside jaws for the chuck. I keep those in here. And what else do we have? I've got, there's another quick change tool post holder for some tooling. I've got this. You might wonder what that is. That is for the shroud that goes over the chuck. There was some extra threaded rod and stuff that came with the lathe. There was some extra. This came with the quick change tool post that I bought. That can go in there. I did get, well, that was with my AXA tool, quick change tool post. It came with a flange, and that is for the T-nut. So if I actually had a compound that actually had a T-nut slot where I could actually mount it that way, that's what that's for. That's really what that AXA is for. It's for a bigger lathe. This is not a big lathe, but I made it work. There's videos on that. Go back and watch them. I shared all that with you. What else we got? I've got that is what this handle goes to. And that, I think, maybe. Does that fit in there? It kind of fits, but boy, that's not great. This one goes, okay, I think this one actually goes on top of here. So anyway, that's where that goes. And finally, well, no, not finally, I've got a spring for one of these parts. This is a M10. I don't recall, but it was what I was using for my quick change tool post to mount it. Early on, if you recall, if you watch my videos, I had some gib issues. This is the original gib. It's machined like garbage. It's too small. Viewer made me a new one. I haven't heard from him in a long time, but thank you again if you're still watching. It's just made all the difference in the world. You might have gib issues. And then finally, I have made 2 mounting sleeves for the the AXA quick change tool post. Again, there's videos on all that, but I keep those in here in case I want to go back or I'm working on something else. The original is this guy. Not machined. It's not machined well. It's not smooth, but it would have worked great. It came with a cool milled slot in there. I don't have a milling machine, so I couldn't recreate that. But this thing sat flush. This would have fit down into your compound and mounted well. And then you can just use a wrench to tighten that down and loosen it up. I like this flange nut. I like the idea of that. But this does not fit into my compound. So I knew, okay, I gotta remake this. And so I came up with this one. This was my first one, and it works great. I actually used my drill press to drill that hole. It's rough. I didn't smooth it because I actually turned this down when I had my threading gears in. It looks like crap, but you would never see this. But this thing I use for many, many videos. It works great. I'm gonna hang on to it. I might need it someday. And then I would use that bolt to mount it down. This threads into the bottom of my quick change tool post, and that way when you tighten this down, it tightens everything down. You loosen this up, you can move everything around. It just works like it's supposed to. Anyway, that was what that is. So all that stuff I had crammed into this box. what I want to do, let's get rid of that guy. I've got this old lid locker that I had some different things in. And I want to kind of have a little extra space, put this stuff in a different box, get it out of the way, and have room for more crap that I want to store away. So we're going to use this lid locker. We've got some storage up here, and then we have a larger compartment in the bottom. Let's see what we can fit up in here first. Does that fit? That's a little tight. I think I'm going to put that. No, I don't like that. That's too big. But I'll bet this one, that one will fit there. Put that bolt there. Put that bolt there. I'm going to put many of these parts up in here where I can. That one's going to need to go in the bottom. I think I might try to just keep those together. But I've got all of these guys. Let's put the handles over here. Put that there. I already said I wouldn't do that. The gib can go up here. That's fine. That's trash. I'm going to leave that up here anyway. This will fit up here. And flange can go there. That's a little deeper actually. I'm going to put that in here. That's going to fit. I think that's going to be fine right there. Oh, there we go. That's kind of a handle piece. That can go there. And I think that's going to be good for up top. That all fits in there nice. Let's put some weight down here in the bottom. Put that in there. Put that down here. Put these guys down here. Put our gears in here. Lots more room. Look at all that room. I'm going to run these screws down just because I can, a little bit anyway. Put that weight in there. I will actually, I didn't show you this. I got that red handle bozo nose from my new AXA quick exchange tool post. Let's see if it fits up here at all. If it doesn't, we'll put it down on the bottom. We'll put the spring up here. I think that'll be fine. And there we go. So I got a lot more room in this container than I had in the other one. Just thought I'd do a little show and tell, see what I had extra parts. I got all kinds of parts, but I'm trying to organize and keep things where they should be. And I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.